Oh, that's 5e. Fuck. They're right above each other. They're right above each other, so I always mess it up. Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome, as I lower everyone's volume, to tonight's episode of The League of Amazing Adventurers, here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Couple announcements before we get into the show. Number one, of course, we're joined by our wonderful cast of characters. We have to my left, we have our head graphic designer and soon-to-be GM on the channel, Matthew Urban. Say hi.
Woo! My power is growing, as is my madness.
Then to the right, we have everyone's favorite, constantly hungry former nuclear bomb, Cassandra, played by Abby.
Every day I put on the wig is a mental health win.
I love it. Then, underneath Matthew on the overlay is, of course, our head artist here and the person responsible for all the lovely character art you see on the channel, McKenna, playing Nim. Across the way from McKenna, we have our Ball of Chaos, the Chaos Quartet, fan of streaming late nights and horror games and making Will scream. It is Shy playing Ray.
Hi, I have a gluten-free cake. I'm happy.
Delicious.
And of course, we have Cooper, head of the Cooper Coalition. The Cooper Coalition. Oh god, I was going to make a Final Fantasy reference, but I forgot the name of the Heavensward Knightly Order, so that'll be next week.
Illegal.
But Cooper playing Lynx.
Someday, I'm going to pull Mona on Genshin Impact.
Oh.
But that someday is nowhere close.
Well, you know what's crazy, Cooper?
Shut the fuck up,
Matt
William
pulled
Banner.
Mona.
Shut the fuck up.
And,
This is serious.
and I have
He
Mona.
lost the 50-50 on Ayaka.
I think that's hilarious, honestly.
I would
because
trade it if you had Ayaka. We could trade.
I will gladly give you my Constellation Zero Ayaka. I want Mona, dude. But anyway.
A couple announcements before we get started tonight. Number one being we have many other shows on the channel. For example, on Friday night we have The Calling Chronicle. It's our D&D 5e adventure. Will our party be able to take down the monolithic capitalist society they find themselves in? Find out over the next couple weeks. Then on Saturday we may be off again for the Table Talk Talks. It all depends on some email correspondence. I have to get that to people tonight too. Then on Sunday, and of course during the afternoon, there's my Final Fantasy XIV stream. Cooper,
Hi.
I have a question for you live on air.
Yes.
Will you be up for it?
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to come play some Final Fantasy?
You will have to be up before noon.
You!
That's the thing.
Great.
Because I think
How could you see
I want to go Chocobo racing this weekend,
Chocobo?
and maybe fight Extreme Shiva. That could be fun.
Oh.
But
Yeah, I could probably do that.
we got that going on. Then, of course, on Monday, we have Will and Matt play TCGs. This week we're playing Commander.
Will finally have his vengeance, probably.
Oh, yes, I will.
Maybe.
You picked my favorite deck.
Kick his ass, Matt. You got this.
No, I have played maybe Commander. The amount of times I've played Commander in my life is probably measurable on one hand. It's been years, and I'm making a deck from scratch, so I'm doomed.
It's okay. Humble him. It'll be good.
But, Matt, at the end of the month, or early September, we're still deciding on the exact start date. The TCG show is going to become something else. Tell us what it is.
I will be taking people to school.
Oh, and what school is that?
The Magambia.
Nice.
It is a school. It is the school of arcane wizardry in the Milwaukee Expanse, founded by the greatest wizard, I believe, ever in the Pathfinder.
And this one is probably not a dragon, we hope.
No, I think the cool thing about him is he was just a man. He was an extremely talented, intelligent, and wise man who just made his mark on history through pure gumption and being able to, turn things into other things with his fingers.
Yes, on Monday
I
nights.
don't know why, but Matt saying this way is making me think of, hello, adult man. Welcome, taxpayer.
But yeah, so Monday nights, starting late August, early September, is going to become the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. Matt's going to GM it. I'm going to play in it. Shy's going to play in it. McKenna's going to play in it. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to play this lovely boy.
Froggy.
Yes, I keep the artwork that I made for my boy at my desk because I am
Something.
psychotic like that. But
You were playing a wonderful character, Shy.
then, of course, we have on Tuesday Law and Disorder. I think we're off this week for that.
Yes.
Yes, we are off this week for that, so I'll probably play more Final Fantasy.
I am busy. I am sorry, but we get back.
Yes,
Life happens.
Shy is doing a play, everyone. Once we have information to the digital showing of that play, we're going to share it on stream so that we can all go support if we
Cool.
want.
Yay!
Then, of course,
I'm learning a lot.
next week we have the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesdays like we do every week, and next week's going to be a doozy. I can already tell you that.
A doozy!
But with that, that's all of our announcements out of the way for the day, so let's roll that intro, and we'll see you in a second in the game.
Mwah.
Last time on the
Sorry,
League of
my
Amazing
girlfriend.
Adventurers, our party successfully destroyed another one of the smaller ziggurats controlling the city. However, they escaped back to their home base of operations afterwards, and there was some slight disturbances between the party. After a short conversation that was very quickly shut down and basically moved on by Nile. Goodness gracious, I can't pronounce my own character's name. Noloy. The party went out, dealt with the ziggurat, and have just basically finished dealing with that. On the way out, they scared a number of civilians, sent them running, punted a man across the street, and we rejoined the party as they have made it back to Noloy's basement. Everything has been kind of brought down, and yeah.
Is there food?
Carl is suddenly aware she's probably digging quite a bit into their budget with the amount of food she's eating.
Well, luckily, this is complimentary of Noloy's father.
No,
so...
there's not going to be any food for at least another 2 minutes.
Why?
Rude.
Because it's
Why?
it's a joke now. So
What's the joke, McKenna?
let's talk about talking about food.
Oh, jeez.
So my favorite way to talk about
I've made a fatal error in my game plan.
My favorite kinds of rice: white, brown, jasmine,
I like sushi with like the
balsamic,
vinegar.
Alright, so at that moment,
coconut.
Noloy is kind of like moving about the basement, and there's a large sort of like, if you've ever heard a tornado siren, it's a tornado siren-esque siren.
Wee woo, wee woo.
It's like a minion saying Beto on through a megaphone.
I hate it.
And then there are heavy footfalls all the street and above y'all. The city has gone into full lockdown.
Oh boy, Delta variant.
Oh boy. Thanks.
Stop.
Killed the escapism.
Yay!
Aloy, what's going on?
I don't know. They've never done this before. Here, everyone, stay away from the window for a moment. And Naloy kind of like moves some boxes. He like takes a stack of books that appear to be like manuals for some sort of game, climbs up on top of them. Oh, that's not good. Pulls the curtain over the window. So, there's a number of constructs marching through the streets. And when I say number, I mean they're moving in patrols of 15 by the looks of it on average.
Okay.
That's more than 5.
Yes, very much more than
Alright.
5, Garl. It looks as though we may need to lay low. I almost said low lay for a few days, but I'm kind of panicking. I apologize.
It's okay. Here, have an owl.
Just takes the owl.
Hand him Merle to cuddle.
We don't want to face these guys.
I don't think we can at the moment.
Oh, I mean,
I'm a little tired, a little worn out.
we could walk outside.
Garl is actually very wounded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's also going to be, what, 15 on 5?
Yes.
That's an easy number.
On a side
Sure.
note, it's at that moment that Naloy's parents come down with snacks.
Oh, excellent. What's the snack? Will, give it to me.
Today's snack is a lovely sort of mini spinach pizzas.
Oh,
Delicious.
Gross.
I mean, I could use more iron. I think I've lost a bunch.
oh.
Do you need
Oh.
another milk jug? I have
Oh.
a few more left.
I mean,
Oh wow, you
out of
kids
my-
you're bleeding down here a lot. Here, let me come over there. His father walks over, Garl, and just puts their hand on your shoulder and channels some hit points into you with a lay on hands. I'll just give you a little
He's a man
heal
of the-
there. All right,
he's
here
a-
you go.
he's a
Well,
man
that's
of
me
some
tapped for the
god.
day, kids. Have yourself a good one. They walk out.
Natty Paladin.
Please never use that phrase again.
Daddy Paladin.
He is literally a father. I'm not wrong.
A
Oh,
paladin.
oh.
You're not
Oh.
wrong, but you're also not in the right.
If you've ever seen Monsters University, imagine like the dad monster in that, just like as a person.
The perfect man, you mean?
Can I look around the abode to see if I can discern what deity he worships?
Oh sure. Make me just a general religion check.
And
Sure.
to clarify, did that actually do any healing?
Yeah, you got like 15 points back.
Okay. That brings
Wow,
me back
so
into.
he's like a low-level paladin.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, no. Doesn't lay on hands like give like 1 health back, or is that
It's
5e?
6.
Okay. Still, that's not a lot.
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. But yeah. As you're looking about, how did y'all do? I need to update the
Oh, I
chat
only got a
ruler.
20.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, there's actually there's a lot of Abadar around.
Interesting.
What the heck is an Abadar?
A lot of Abadarian references.
I will have to Google.
I
that
think it's a
because I
kind
don't
of
remember it
vegetable.
off the top of my head.
Abadar is the god of commerce and trade, as well as taxes.
Eat
the real
your
vegetable.
rabbit food.
Not bad.
He is the god of actual accountants. A god of
Oh,
accountants for pop culture reasons would be Nocticula.
Oh.
Terrible. Thank you.
Fun. So, Naloy, I couldn't help but notice what happened with all of the ziggurats. But I thought we still had one more left. We took care of compliance first, then cooperation, then order, but we're still missing security in the residential district.
Yes, well, from my understanding, the Resistance took care of security while you were dealing with compliance.
The resistance.
Yes, there's a whole group of them, but they had made it explicitly clear to me that I was not allowed to bring you to them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Vive la resistance!
But looking out there, I don't know if I will have a real choice to do so. Like, I listen, you are all very capable, powerful, strong, independent adventurers, but I mean, I don't think like you can handle like the action economy would not be in your favor.
I don't know what that is, and it sounds dumb.
It does sound dumb.
No, there's a part of me that I understand where the resistance is coming from. I don't know if it would be safe for us to work together. Safe for them, I mean.
I'm going to go tonight, and I'm going to see if I can convince them to, like, maybe, like, at least meet with you all. Maybe we can get some help, because, like, at the very least, I think y'all are going to need a distraction to get in there. And like I said, I'm perfectly fine putting myself at risk, but they just, like, I'm not a threat. If I'm not a threat, I'm a
That's
tactician.
exactly what a threat would say.
If being in this group has taught me anything, numbers bring strength.
Exactly. So,
Threats
like,
bring strength.
getting the help of resistance could be helpful.
And they can possibly minimize the amount of danger they put themselves in if we are taking the hard way.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to then. I need like 10 minutes. Okay. They're starting to, like, they're moving books around. They're studying a spell book. They're apparently swapping prepared spells. And then they, after about 10 minutes, Niloy just says, I'll be back later tonight. Please just
For sure, please.
try not to get my family killed. And they head out.
Oh.
No pressure.
Okay, so we just need to stay here, lay low, relax. Until he gets back.
Y'all got any more of that healing?
A little bit. Come here. I'll give you a hug. And I'll give him a hug for some.
If you manage to wrap your arms completely around Garl, that would be impressive.
Healing.
Oh no, I'm just like
hugs.
doing an arm.
Real squishy.
Love it.
Please. Let's see. I need to double check how much healing that gives. I'll figure it
Does
out.
Vital Beacon?
It'll take some
Which tier
Vital
of Vital Beacon? First, second, third?
second.
So that would be 48, I think.
Aha.
And then it's
It goes
D6.
10, 8, 6,
Yep.
4.
Heal for 9.
That's appreciated,
A mighty 9.
potentially.
But yeah, tending to the wounds, Niloy's mom will come down. They'll basically medicine check you all to full over the course of like 2 hours.
Q?
So you guys can regain any hit points as you begin your long rest for the evening. Unless there's anything you want to do that night.
I would want to speak to Cassandra just in a moment if there was like a free moment where she wasn't busy doing
Oh
something.
yeah, there's definitely a moment for you to do that.
She's probably got like a book open, just browsing through it.
That is actually perfect because that sort of catches Garl's eye, and she kind of like, considering how big it is, it's incredibly awkward to watch. But she tries to like just shimmy over while not, getting up. She just try and, while cross-legged on the floor, tries to shimmy over. Pretty eyes. Can Garl ask a favor, perhaps?
Of course.
I don't know. It might take a long time, but do you think you could maybe teach me to write or read a little?
Oh.
Yes, I would love to.
Alessandra said she would try, but we kind of ran out of time, and I think it would help with me remembering things.
I've never taught anybody how to read or write before, but I'd certainly give it a try.
Tried her best.
I would greatly appreciate it.
Let's see, where do we start? Do you know how to write your name?
And Garl kind of looks around and rummages in her pockets and gets out like a tiny, tiny little like knife and like a bark of wood and carves some like symbols that aren't in any sort of letters. Like, this is the sound, I think.
Okay,
Love
I've
Carl.
never seen that before, but in common, it would probably look like this. It was G, right there, that's how you write G, H, A.
Should I roll something to learn?
No, I'm going to have Cassandra roll me a society check.
Oh,
Or a library lore
Good
check.
question. The library lore. You know me.
Teaching Garl to
We're
read
gonna
will
be-
be a decently hard DC.
I love it.
What is? Well, I've got a. All right, let's go.
Oh.
And that is a critical success to what I wanted from y'all. So
Very nice.
I think Garl, you handily get your name down.
Aww,
Love it.
wholesome.
Yeah.
Garl just kind of stares at it for a moment, and her eyes seem to sparkle for a moment, and then she just kind of blinks and kind of gives you the most careful hug that she can manage. And like,
And when you
thank
make that
you
hug,
very much.
I need the two of you to make me.
Oh,
Carl
say,
damn
has
it.
learned.
Wait, what are we making?
Oh,
I need you to make me will say is because, contrary to what some people may say, friendship is in fact.
Magic.
There you go.
But magic is heresy.
29, 20. Those are
Uh-oh.
both failures.
Oh,
no.
We're gonna switch bodies.
All right,
No.
so eyes roll back in your heads for a moment, you two.
Oh God.
We're going to jump over to Cassandra first. You see yourself in a pit of fighters. A number of other people who've been captured and chained, basically cutting each other down in a battle royale style type of battle. As you do, as like you basically gut someone, the blood that kind of comes onto you and starts to harden into crystal.
Oh.
Yikes.
As you finish off the final contenders in the ring, you look up, and in front of you is a very familiar sight. For you, Cassandra, not necessarily for Garl, as there you are,
Oh no.
floating above Garl in purplish robes.
Uh-oh. Bestie, I'm afraid to tell you
And that's
this.
the end
Is
of that
it old me or past reincarnation me?
one.
Or didn't we have someone impersonating you too?
No, that
Didn't
was
we have like the
that
hat?
was a literary mistake in the records of the
Oh, okay.
people. But Cassandra, it is definitely it's definitely it's definitely pre you being locked in your tower.
Wait, how old is Garl then? Goodness. Oh God, how many years has she lost?
Oh God, that's true, huh?
Garl, you see yourself walking down a aisle of what appear to be crystalline spots. On either side of you, there's just crystals. And inside of the crystals are people who have been completely encased in them. You're running hurriedly. You manage to get to one of them that still has a person in it. The others have become sort of augmented crystalline monstrosities. However, one still has a person, a humanoid shape in it. You begin madly working at a console, inputting some sort of magical script, typing in letters, and then you look as a circle forms around the crystal, and as the humanoid shape in it that you see as yourself disappears.
No idea what to make of that.
And then you guys come back, and it rolls back.
Cassandra just shoots up and, Gods, what have I done? Oh, I didn't. I don't remember that. I don't. Oh no.
I mean,
I'm
you
so sorry.
told me what this letter means, or sounds like.
Oh yes. Yes, I did.
I'm sorry if my hug was painful. I won't do it again.
No. It was a wonderful hug. Oh, I don't even know where to begin with this one. You did nothing wrong, Carl. Know that you did absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, I've forgotten a lot. It's possible I have done things wrong. It's possible.
Garl.
Oh, dear.
But it's, we all make mistakes. We all make choices we would prefer to take back, but we keep moving forward and we make new choices.
Nah. That's dumb.
Like rolls his eyes at Ray.
Was Ray hiding behind us the whole
I mean, it's a
time?
very small basement.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I don't remember that. What I saw, I thought I knew what I didn't know I could. I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember things I see half the time too. So that's fair, right? I don't know. I'm probably not understanding this properly.
No, it's all right. For what it's, I'm very sorry, Garl.
Okay, I accept your apology. Alessandra told me it's important to accept people's apologies, even just for their sake, not necessarily for yours.
That's very kind.
That's very much her, yeah.
I love
Something she would say.
I love the very image of like motherly Alessandra after dealing with her all campaign. Like something about it just hits different.
How much of it was genuine? How much was her trying to, groom Garl to be an attack dog?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Or at the very least, like befriend her to the point where she would have a safe traveling
Alessandra
companion.
is the summertime Camilla of this world.
Jesus.
I don't know what that means. I think that's a Fate
That's a Fate
reference.
She's
Will is simply being, how do you
Unknowable?
say, a weeaboo.
anyway.
I mean,
I will. Garl will. Never quite sure how to end conversations. We'll just give an appreciative nod. We'll shuffle a little bit across this small basement and really study the piece of wood that she's got her name written on now.
Cassandra will go, Nim?
Yes. Nim is like trying to take a nap in the corner.
I hate to wake you from your nap, but I'm cute. How do your tarot cards work?
ooh.
Oh. Here, let me show you. I have these tarot cards, Cosmos tarot cards.
Ooh.
No relation to the Cosmos Oracle, I just have them. And Nim kind of like rubs her eyes and puts her glasses back on and takes the remnant of the night sky off from around her neck and kind of throws it out onto the bed. And she says, well, normally I would need a new star chart, something that was representative of what was going on in the sky right now. But luckily this remnant seems to reflect the current constellations automatically, which is really, really fun. Basically, what I do is I take some cards, I have them here, and I just shuffle them up and ask questions and put them down, and different constellations mean different things, and depending on what card shows up in what constellation, I can receive omens
But
that
before
way.
you go on, Nim, make me a perception check.
Ooh.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so with the 26, that's enough to notice that a literal full constellation is just missing.
But Nim stops, like she's fully like shuffling the cards, and you see her like stop mid-shuffle and go,
It was one in the shape of a crane.
Oh,
the crane is missing. There is a constellation that should be here, right in the northwest corner, but it's, missing. And, that hasn't happened before.
Taking a closer look, there are several stars that are missing.
Also, Ursa Minor and, the western star in the Gemini constellation is missing, and this is bad, I think. I had a vision, multiple visions, where the stars in the sky started to blink out. So I wonder if it's starting.
That can only be good.
Yeah.
Oh, bestie. Nim looks very troubled. And you know what? We're about to take a long rest, and I've got the spell slot. Why not cast a cheeky little read omens to figure out why that might be?
So it's something that you plan to do within a week.
That could also be information. It is a goal. The goal I have is to find information about the vision. Because I've had this vision, I think, 3 or 4 times now. So my goal is to find more information about that vision. And you see it, Cassandra, like, Nim is just very quiet and just starts, like, frantically putting cards down on the remnant of the night sky and trying to figure it out.
Cassandra's just like, I haven't even asked her what to read yet, but this seems I was like, well, she's very good.
She just knows.
She's
going
really
on, Will?
good.
Your cast. Those who seek the night sky. May one day
Those who
join
seek
their
the night
fate.
sky.
That's what you get. That's your omen. I couldn't think of a way to make it rhyme without being like, will one day cry or die, and that would just be cheesy.
Okay. Well, I can't say that I've gotten a lot of information from that, but, at least I know. Sorry, Cassandra, why did you... what?
Was that not it?
I just did a read omens to, try to figure out why the stars are blinking out, and maybe perhaps more information about the visions I've been having about all of the stars blinking out, and a giant meteor coming closer and closer and closer. That's all.
That does seem rather pressing. Cassandra looks back at Garl and leans in and whispers, I think I might have done that to Garl in my past life, and I want to know if I did or not.
You might have done...
The crystals, I think I might have... I don't know. Either that
What
or...
makes you think that?
I saw her fighting in a pit and killing people, and the crystals were forming from the blood, and I was just hovering there up above in a Treladarian robe. I'll show her if I can.
I have joined pasts, so I can help her, like, look at that memory.
Yeah, for sure. I'll donk my head to her hand.
Donk!
Donk.
Donk.
Cassandra, that's really
Not
a
good.
lot.
Yeah.
Are we really judging Garl right now? That's messed up.
No, we're not judging Garl. I'm judging Cassandra a little
Yes.
bit. I'm judging past Cassandra. I'm judging Cassandra in a past
Yeah.
life. In fairness, she might have been a part of the Garl pit fighting ring. So,
Let's
like,
call it that.
I just did.
I mean, there were other people in the pit for a while. Until
For a while.
Until
For a
Garl
while.
crushed their
A
skulls.
while.
At least she lived.
Brew.
I'm looking for the bright side here.
I like to think that Shai's like actually saying this in character. She's just eavesdropping on everyone's conversations.
Me too.
I was just trying to figure out all of a sudden why we're so like afraid. Like, wait, all of our past suck. So like,
Cassandra, do you want me to try to help you dig a little deeper into that memory, maybe?
If possible, yes.
I don't know if it's possible, but I'll give it a shot.
I would appreciate that, yes.
Well, can I use... Here, I'm gonna put it in chat for y'all. It's a recall knowledge check that I'm helping with.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially trying to recall knowledge on a memory Cassandra might have forgotten.
Yeah.
I don't know what to roll for that.
Well,
but this is the concept that
Cassandra rolling it with you'd be rolling it with Cassandra's skill. And I think because you're looking into the memories of a person, and memories are often personified in the form of books, that library lore could once again be appropriate.
Oh boy.
All right.
You were so ready for that, Abby.
That is a success. Just a regular success. So, Cassandra, what memory were you trying to share? What were you trying to get to?
Get to that memory of the fighting ring. Maybe see what part I might have played in it.
Yeah, you'll get a few moments before the fighting began. A conversation. The other sounds behind you are muffled, and the person's identity is muffled, but as you stand there and they're speaking to you, your little pit fiend has been doing quite well.
Oh.
Why, yes, I know. I've trained them well. They will be ready for they will be ready for our master's return. And that's what you get.
Oh my god.
And none of these were me talking?
Yes, I've trained them well was you.
This puts a whole weird dynamic on the relationship now.
It does, yeah.
A master's return? Cassandra feels extremely nauseous. She can feel those little spinach pizzas coming back up.
Oh.
Technically speaking, Cassandra, it wouldn't be you who experiences that. It's Nim.
Oh.
Ugh.
I was like, good news or bad news?
Do you lie to her?
Good news or bad news?
No, this is not my business to lie about. I, from here on out, will be messaging Cassandra instead of speaking this aloud. Just on the off chance that Garl, or, I don't know, someone who is very malicious and hates me
Ooh.
here.
Garl is busy leaning over to Lynx and like, so do any of these letters make your name?
Oh. But I will start talking to Cassandra via message and just say, it's not wonderful news. It appears as though you had an administrative hand in the pit fighting ring. I saw a glimpse of the fighting myself when I detected magic on Garl's crystals earlier. It wasn't pleasant. You said that you had trained her. I can only imagine you were referring to Garl.
Yeah, I don't understand. How would I... I've never trained any... I wouldn't even know the first thing how to train someone in pit fighting.
I don't know that it... it doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. I mean, I've never known you to have much in the way of knowledge of martial fighting. At least, maybe in theory, you do read a lot of books, but not
Did
to
I
a
say
degree
anything?
then.
Why I would do something like this?
No,
Will's smiling.
I don't think so. It was... They called her a pit fiend. But yeah, I will relay the specifics of the dream as specifically as possible as I can to
I will
Cassandra.
say that the pit fiend was clearly like less of a Garl is a secret demon, and more of a
No, I know.
Garl is a murder.
Right. No, it was just like Nim commenting on like what an ugly thing to call someone, especially when you've trained them to be that way.
For Master's return. Who?
We can try again if you feel up to it. Try to dig even deeper.
If that's all right with you, I wouldn't mind.
Of course, Cassandra.
Okay.
I give it another shot. So if Cass wants to roll that library lore check.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Getting use out of that lore.
Hell yeah.
More tonight.
Damn.
That is a natural motherfucking 20.
You
Bam!
love to see it.
Okay.
In a room with no books, she has brought
No,
the
give me a
books.
moment. Give me a
Yes.
moment. Because I have. I'm going to click on my list and let's see which one you want. I'm going to give you for this one.
I am the library now.
I am the library.
I am
Oh, yes,
the
that is
Senate.
Okay, so Cassandra. You stand in front of a human woman. Well, I guess Cassandra stands in front of a human woman, Nim. She has slightly like grayish silvery hair at this point, but it's curl, and her eyes are almost completely colorless, blind looking. She has like a pair of spectacles hanging around her neck with like a lovely little chain. The woman speaks. Are you sure? There must be some other way we can do it. Then Cassandra would reply, yes, I'm sure. I need to be ready. And this is the only way. Alright. And then she casts a spell. On Cassandra. If you would like, you can make me an Arcana or Occultism check to identify it.
I have theories.
I do too.
Lynx will
Oh, fuck.
make an occultism.
22.
Well, technically, Nim's the only one seeing this link.
Yeah, they're
That is
sitting in the
okay.
corner having non-verbal conversations, staring into each other's eyes. It's
Staring
really
into each
weird.
other's eyes, like occasionally Nim will like put like her thumb in between Cassandra's eyes, like fingers to her temple.
It
like
is-
it's a very strange
It
exchange.
is several castings of Modify Memory.
Avatar looking ass.
It is several castings of Modify Memory.
Oof.
Oh no.
Cass
Can
is a
I-
sleeper agent.
Can I
ATB,
make any kind of
ATB.
check regarding this bespectacled woman with curly hair and chains on her glasses?
Nope, that's really it. It's just an older looking woman. Not like Baba Yaga
Okay.
old, but like very old lady old.
Right. Okay.
So, like, level 20 adventure.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Oracle adventure.
Yeah, this is just what oracles do in their spare time.
And yeah,
Nonsense stuff.
then pop goes the Nimbo. That's what you get for that natural 20, Cassandra.
Oh, nice.
To clear anything up?
Nothing.
It's just a big misunderstanding, right? Please. Tell me it was a misunderstanding.
I'm going to level with you, Cassandra. I don't actually think... What I just saw wasn't necessarily relevant to the pit fighting, except for maybe it was. And I, again, relay to the best of my ability what I saw with as many specifics as possible. I don't know why you would have contracted someone to cast Modify Memory on you several times. And I don't know if the person I saw was the master you were referring to. But that's all I know.
Niloy comes back. Alright. Tomorrow morning, I have the meeting set up.
Ooh.
They're very much not thrilled to speak with all of you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But
Could we send one person and have others
Well,
nearby?
He
no,
said
they want everyone around. They I don't want to say stand trial, but they want to ensure that you would not put the people into a compromised position with your plan. And they would like to confirm that with all of you there.
It is my goal as well to keep them as safe as possible, but I understand their trepidation.
So, big day tomorrow?
Big day tomorrow.
Annoying day.
Niloy, and I will take him aside and again, just start messaging. Do you think there's any precautions we can take to keep them safe from the, rowdier members of this party?
Ray,
Oh,
can you
Yeah?
promise me you'll behave yourself tomorrow?
Yeah.
Nope.
yeah.
Hard no.
Hey, Ray, come over here.
That's gonna be a hard no, Chief.
Hard no, Chief. Ray walks over. What's up, Sarge? Pipsqueak, what's up? What can I do for you today?
Jesus.
Ray calling someone pipsqueak.
Yeah, truly.
Projecting.
Pot calling the kettle black and all that.
No, I really don't. Just try not to kill any of my former allies, please. That's all I ask.
Or may
Whoa, I'm not a
injure.
murderer. You can calm down, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go and sleep on the couch this evening. Niloy just kind of turns around and walks
Fair.
upstairs.
Ray turns to Lynx and just points with them can you believe this guy? Me, a murderer?
Lynx gets a kind of pensive look on his face, thinking about every child that he's ever seen you throw hands with. Or I definitely shouldn't say with. Throw hands at.
Throw hands at.
one
It's not mutual.
die.
But yeah, no one has died. That is true.
Can't call someone a murderer for a crime they didn't commit.
Yet!
Is it even worth asking for you to potentially refrain from maiming our potential allies?
Well, that depends. Are they allies or not? We'll find out tomorrow. God, Nim. Use your head.
Okay. I think I'm going to use my head to go to bed. I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
Cassandra's going to bed too. She's like, well, we'll see if the dreams uproot any new information.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Oh.
So, You guys get your night's rest.
Hooray for hit
You guys
points.
are fully healed. You guys get all your stuff back.
Hot.
In the morning, Niloy
A
comes
wee
down,
bit
gives you all
sexy.
a short breakfast.
Hopefully some
Yes,
protein.
there's some protein. If you're all, once you're all good to go, I can take us to the meeting point.
Survey's all I'm gonna get.
You good?
Yep, think so.
All right.
This is going to be a non-combat situation,
Yeah.
right?
Hey.
Theoretically.
Lynx will not be preparing any potions for the party then.
That's a bad move, friend. That's a real bad
So-
move, my friend.
As is important for us to have watchfulness for this, Garl offers Ray, who appears to have quick and decisive eyes, a ride on her shoulders so she can see in farther direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ray gleefully accepts this ride on, giant friend.
We have combined our power
So the lockdown is still fully in effect. People are not to leave their homes.
to get you a lance.
However, luckily, Niloy does have pass walls ready, and they will basically take you through the sewers and the tunnels of the city safely to the industrial district, where they'll open up a pass wall, and basically, as you guys exit like the stairwell that's been carved into the stone there, inside this room are several rows of men and women in chairs, all in Magdian military uniforms. However, a look about them is they're very much support staff. It's like engineers, cooks. Like, there's no soldiers. It looks like a majority of the soldiers have been captured, for lack of a better term.
Okay, then I don't feel too bad about not prepping anything.
There is a large forge in the background, and basically sitting on some chairs behind a table are a few creatures. There are 5 in total. 3 of which are human, 1 of which is elven, and then there is in the center of everyone an Aesir.
Yo, elves unite!
And as you enter, the Aesir kind of looks at all of you and says, people, weapons at the ready, please.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
These ones have
Well,
not been kind to me.
We done fucked up.
And it is the same Aesir that you guys tackled, frostviled, and burnt.
And also jumped in front of to try to stop that last thing from happening personally. Just throwing that out there. One of us did jump to her defense and literally use themselves as a human shield, so I don't know if that's earned me any brownie points, but I'm just reminding you.
Ray turns to Link and goes, "You should have brought potions, pal."
I think you're right.
The council stands.
He does not seem
The
pleased.
council stands as you guys enter. The elven figure speaks. Hello there. Thank you for coming. We simply wish to have a chat about your plan and for you to dispel some uncertainties we have about yourselves.
Our plan is to kick ass and take names!
She looks over to the Aesir. I see what you mean.
Yes.
Why does this feel like the group from Twilight? Not the Cullen, but the
Oh, boy.
Voltari.
No!
Don't tell them about any babies.
You have flipped my switch. Like, I'm ready.
My fight or flight response just activated at the mention of Twilight.
Where the hell have you been, Loka?
Stop! Ooh!
I'm gonna
Well,
die.
I'm glad I didn't sip my drink fully there.
I'm just gonna die.
I am Sildal Meni. I was the head archivist for the Magdian Military Industrial Complex. I kept track of records
Ooh.
and payrolls and things.
Book buddies. Points at Cassandra.
Ray goes, nerds! Your thing!
Yes, right?
That was Sildal
Yes.
Melis.
Sildon Mineth. M-I-N-E-H.
M-I-N-E...
E-H.
Minith.
Yep.
Thank you.
Then beside her is a human. He'll pipe up. Johann Strout. I guess, oversaw Forge. Technically always ranking one, well, higher ranking ones now,
Nice to meet you both.
Then the Aesir kind of huffs a moment. Alathon.
Oh, he has no last name. That's really cool.
I was ahead of requisition.
Ray turns to Cassandra. What does that mean?
Yeah, and I'm.
Sandra would know. Abby thinks it's maybe like the hiring committee.
What does requisition mean?
God, what's it called in the army? Person who deals with supplies. Shy, help.
Can't do that,
Okay.
friend. No idea.
Quartermaster. Thank you, Mark.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Sure.
You're a quartermaster.
They only mastered a quarter of things.
I know a thing or two about quarters myself.
Yes.
The next person is a humanoid. However, she has slightly more bestial features in her eyes.
Hot.
What does that mean?
Karandra.
Also no last name. Interesting.
I was formerly a trainer, a tutor at the Officers Academy.
Are you into rats? I know the perfect guy.
Are you into rats?
So visibly their approval of you goes down a peg.
Do you like waffles?
Listen, Professor and her would hit it off.
We haven't.
Vilk is in charge of training new recruits. They were a physical trainer.
Hey!
Probably know a lot about protein shakes.
Yes. Sildal will continue to speak. The purpose of this meeting is quite simple. We are going to give you a chance to tell us and convince us that you are not simply brigands attempting to use our country's current state as a means of improving your own wealth and conquering us.
How do we know that's not you guys?
And
Because
I'm
they're
going to
the
note
ones that
another
are-
approval point down.
For all of us,
Oh.
or just
Oh,
for
it's the whole party
Shy?
thing.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, to be fair, how do we not know that this isn't some
And then we are going to ask you some questions that each of us have as a general sort of question we have for each of you to see if you are someone who can handle what we think will have to happen. Does that seem amicable to all of you?
That's more than fair.
That seems fine with me.
Like a test?
Yes, a sort
yeah,
of
Carl. Or maybe like an
test.
interview.
I have a hunk of graphite.
Oh,
As you say that, Bill kind of chuckles. I like that one.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
So, The way this is going to work is like this. I'm going to have you all roll me initiative. The initiative roll
Oh,
is
boy.
purely
We're off
the
to a good
initiative
start.
roll is purely to keep track of your order.
Uh-huh.
We're combating
Yes,
adversity.
this is a
Okay, I believe
social
you.
challenge.
Oh no! And I'm going first. Oh.
Yay!
Ray and Garl are
Alrighty.
the worst at
And now I'm taking
social.
out my game mastery guide.
I mean, hold on.
so I can make sure.
Intimidation is a social thing. I can
It's
do that.
true.
We do have intimidation, Garl.
You guys have
Or
effectively. Sorry, they have a new name in Pathfinder 2e. They're called an influence encounter. This is an influence encounter.
Uh-huh. We gotta influence the NPCs that we're not dipshits.
Yes, you're trying. That's exactly it.
I'm glad I have stats and deception.
Here are
Must
some of
be
the
nice,
things that you can do with
bestie.
this type of encounter. You can make a perception check to determine to gauge one of the people that you're trying to convince, and then that could possibly give you an insight as to what type of arguments or what type of skill-based arguments might be applicable to them. Using things like athletics is perfectly fine. You just make a more athletic argument, like a sort of, listen, we're the strongest, look, I can lift this forge up with my single hand, like that type of thing. So an athletics check or any
Hot.
like non-social checks can still be used. Just, some NPCs might be more susceptible to different types of checks. That's what the perception checks are for. Each of the NPCs has an approval rating of the party. I will say, because of your actions here in Magdia, the numbers reflect that accordingly. And, yeah. Answer.
Question. What happens if we fail
Well, if you
this?
fail this, then depends on how much you fail it by. The goal of this is to secure their aid. So, with that, I'm going to organize our initiative order. Chat, you won't see the initiative order on the screen, as I'd have to go to the map for that. But the order is Garl, Nim, Lynx, Cassandra, and Ray. So, for your opening argument for this first round, I'm going to give each of you a perception check to try to determine what type of how well you can read the person. See what type of skills might be better for doing things. So,
Oh God, I remember a lot of these.
yes, I do love these.
Where's my geisha? And I need her. She was really good at these.
So it's a matter of matching the right skill check to the right person.
Yes, so that is something
think
that
you're
is
right.
definitely a matter of fact. If you use a skill on someone that they don't have like on their list, basically the check is just wasted. However, diplomacy, deception, and intimidation are on all the social skills are on everyone, but the skills that they are specifically jive with have lower DCs.
Jive with it.
It's a very cool mechanic, and if you play Pathfinder Society at all, it is a type of encounter that you will deal with very often.
Yeah.
I like this. This
Oh,
is
it's
fun.
a very
this
cool
is
encounter.
different.
I really like it.
I heart.
Garl. Can I ask you,
Gar.
who would you like to make a perception check on?
Well, you did mention an individual who was the one who was in charge of training
Yes,
new
that would be
recruits.
Vilk.
Yeah, so he seems like he would be possibly, especially because these are military people, might be impressed with a show of ability or strength. So, I would, as you kind of made an example, I would like to try impressing them by finding something like, you said this is like a forge kind of
Yeah.
area, right? Finding some hunk of rock or something and just
Alright, so
crushing
you're just going to guess that
Hot.
you're just going to guess that they're into athletics?
I suppose I could make a perception check to try and
It's your call.
surmise it.
I'm just asking to make sure.
if I have the option, yeah, if it
Okay.
doesn't cost me anything, why wouldn't I make
Roll
a
it.
perception check?
31.
31.
That Garl.
Natural 15.
Check their DCs.
How good is it, Garl, reading people?
Uh,
Wait, I should get angry. Then I'd have true sight.
Carl, who just learned how to read today. How
that
good is she
Garl
reading?
is a success.
You're assuming she retained any of that.
Yeah, so Vilk seems very perceptive to the show of strength. It's like, oh yeah,
Alright,
that one
I
right
would like
there.
to then do.
Oh, that's got. So you got some arms on you. That could snap a robot in half, I think.
I think I may have done that. I will try an athletics check to try and impress them. And I have a number of hero points saved up. I may use it for this if I need to.
Do it.
Okay. 33.
That is a success.
Who crushes a rock with their hand?
I will
honestly.
say, chat, we are running this a little bit differently just to save time instead of doing a perception and then going through and doing perception, doing that. I'm going to let people do a perception and a skill check in this first round just to speed up the first round a bit. I would do the same thing in Society Play too.
Sure.
Kind and goodly DM.
Alright, so let me edit the value for that success. And yeah, there you go. Alright, so after Garl, it is Unim.
Well, I will make a perception check on Miss Minif.
On who?
31.
Thank you.
Sildon Minif.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm going to turn you guys up a little bit. Let me know if they start echoing, chat. A
For
31 is also a success.
Yay!
So they are definitely someone who prefers learned. You get one as a success. You get one of their things. I'm just going to say the one that will make Abby happy. Library lore is attached to them.
Is there a way for me to pass that
Yes,
information
it's
along to
assumed
Abby?
the information is just shared.
Fantastic,
You can also
fantastic.
tell with that
Good to know.
31 that she is starting with a negative attitude towards you guys.
Oh.
Vilk started with a positive attitude towards y'all.
Well, I'm gonna talk to her, maybe make a diplomacy
Okay,
check.
roll it.
I'm just gonna tell her what we're doing. I'm gonna say, well, we're currently not affiliated with any, country. We kind of were affiliated with the League of Amazing Adventurers, but they're not, interested in conquering
At the mention of the League,
or
at the
country.
mention of the League, their
building.
attitude towards you sours a little bit.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I'm going to clarify and say we are now currently working with an independent party whose primary goal is surviving in occupied territory and eventually the liberation of all peoples from Cheladar's reign.
Make
That's
me a
our
diplomacy
goal.
check with a +2.
Fantastic.
That is only a
38.
success because the diplomacy DC for this one is higher than a skill that's specific for them.
Fuck.
But you do
Alright,
think
well, take it.
that you made a good argument. Her attitude towards you has warmed up a bit. It's probably stopped the damage that the mention of the League caused. As you mentioned the
Nice.
League, she huffed something along the lines of, "Terrible those people burning all those documents and links."
Burning.
Yeah,
Lynx also reacts to that if
Yeah,
you can hear
this
it.
is like an open form, so you guys can definitely hear it.
Okay.
Can
See if
I
I can
ask
keep that in
about
mind.
If you want to bring it up on your turn, that's something you can do next turn.
Sure.
Ray just nods in approval, like, yeah, fuck books.
Links, you're up.
I was gonna take a look at doing a perception on Oh my god, I'm blanking on their name. The one that was the requisitioner that Nim just did a perception on?
The requisition is Alathon the Aesir. I was talking to the archaeologist.
Oh, it
To
is?
the
Minith.
archivist.
Archivist, sorry. The head of requisition is the Aesir.
You have Sidal Minith, the head archivist, Johann Strat, the forge master, Alathon, the Aesir quartermaster, Karandra, the tutor, Vilk, the physical trainer.
Despite my better interests, I would like to do a perception check on the Aesir.
Roll it. Nice.
Crit 20.
That's going to give.
Nice.
That's going to give you
Nice.
a lot of information. It's going to give you 2 of the relevant skills. So the 2 relevant skills for them are crafting. Yes.
Oh.
It is
Oh.
crafting and blacksmithing lore. Or engineering lore.
That's cool.
Sorry, theirs is engineering.
Crafting, you say?
Crafting or engineering lore. And then
That's your-
their attitude towards you on a scale of 1 to 10 is currently at -5.
Yeah, I believe that.
All right, so Lynx, what would you like to do? For your turn?
It's going to be a crafting check, but it is going to be coupled with a sincere apology, if that's
Yeah.
acceptable. If not, it's fine. Okay.
Don't forget, we all have hero points.
So Lynx would like to craft our Aesir friend. Is it specifically blacksmithing,
It's
or is it
engineering
both?
lore. I misread my own notes.
No problem. Okay. Can I infer as a player that they would prefer something a little bit more handiwork
Yeah, I think
rather
you could.
than? Okay. Shit. Well. Hmm. No, I'm gonna go with my original thought, despite I'm not sure how it'll
You
work,
got this?
but I'm gonna craft them a drink
Okay.
that doubles as the moderate
Okay, I
elixir
thought
of
you were about to
life.
drug this poor man. I was like, Lynx.
No.
That would have been so cool.
Right, make me a crafting check.
Oh my god.
Can
If
I
you want
hero
to.
point that?
Yeah.
Holy
Lynx,
shit!
that is a failure.
Oh lord.
I'm hero pointing again then.
Yes.
Technically, I've learned something about the rules, Lynx.
We're not
You
allowed
can't
to
hero point twice because they're a luck effect and they don't stack. We've been
Really?
doing it wrong.
But what if we do it the way we've been doing it anyway?
No.
Yeah, how about we do
Due to
anyway?
But what if
due to
was
current
legal?
advancements in our life, I feel like we need to be a little bit
Fair
more correct.
What if
What
we
if this is
forgive
the
this one
last time we let
specifically?
it slide?
Yeah, like what if we forgive this one
Like from
specifically?
here on out.
Okay, I'll give. This is the last one.
Hot and sexy. Look at this kind, generous,
Do you want
benevolent
me to reverse the
DM.
call, Cooper?
And dangerous.
But yes, so the 33 is a success, but it's not a critical.
Totally fine. But yeah, it'll be like a homebrew ale sort of deal that doubles off the recipe of a moderate elixir of life. And this will couple with a sincere apology, because the first time that we saw this person and their, I guess, coworkers, if you'd like to say, it was not under positive circumstances. It was a critical misunderstanding. I cannot apologize enough, and I understand if you cannot forgive me.
Nice, that's a good apology, Lynx. In the future, say the RP before you roll, and I'll give you bonuses to your roll.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, Cassandra.
Look at Will kicking my ass live on stream.
Roll me a perception.
Cassandra wants to Cassandra wants to turn to Minith. And she's like, did you say there were burned documents? Because I personally find the recording and proper preservation of documents and history to be very important. In fact, libraries played a large part in my own personal escape from Treladar.
Roll me a library lore check on her. That is a success. As she's warming up, she'll mention, yes, during a conflict, a couple agents made it into my archive, and they were clearly members of the League. And in the process of apprehending them, a fire was started by one of them. They were attempting to steal from the archives some notes on military strategy and plans for the future, which is understandable, but I feel as though that duo burning them on their way out is before the Rays managed to capture them for a short time.
Duo.
Yeah.
I do apologize for that.
You can make me a perception check.
Into the
Also,
thick of it.
Cassandra, if you want to try to read into one of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot that
Yep.
exists.
So who do you want to try to get a reading on?
I would love to get a reading on her. Cause,
That is a
you know
failure.
what?
You cannot get a read on her.
Oof.
I spent all my reading giving it
All
to
right.
Garl.
Shy, can you give me a perception check? Who would you like to get a read on?
Billy!
Billy?
None of these people are named Billy.
I thought there was a Billy.
There was a Johann.
Milk?
Those don't sound
Johann.
anything alike.
I don't.
Billy.
There's a Kirandra. There's a Vilk.
Am I dumb?
No, you're not done,
Perhaps.
Shy.
Don't ask me that.
I thought Billy was the army guy.
They technically all are me. Here,
Guys.
here are the. Here's what you got. Also, thanks for the villain point echoes of ours.
Oh.
Terrible.
So you have
rude.
Sildal Meneth, the head archivist.
Only
You have
villains do
Johann
that.
Strout, the forge master. Alathon, the Azar quartermaster. Cariandra, the tutor for the officers' academy, and Vilk, the physical trainer.
Ew.
Only villains do that.
Vilk. Okay,
Vilk.
so a 23 is unfortunately not enough to get a read on them.
How did
Tragic.
Billy out of Vilk?
I don't know.
What skill would you
Okay.
like to use? And who would you like to make an argument to?
Well, let's see what I got. Just going off of personal training.
Alright.
Into the thick of it.
Ooh.
I use intimidation.
Who are you using intimidation on?
As one does.
Vilk.
Viltic.
Alright, so with the intimidation of
Vilk.
25, that is a critical failure.
Hero
The
point?
DC is
For
35.
Vilk, for intimidation, yes it is. Would you like to use a hero point?
Gotta choose your targets.
Ray just laughs.
Alright.
This was her intention. You need to understand.
Alright, he will go down. He becomes less cool. He becomes a little bit more cool to all of you.
Garl laughs confusedly. She wants to be part of the conversation, but she
Alright,
doesn't know what we're laughing
now,
at.
starting on this round, you can either make a perception check or a skill check. You cannot make both. Garl.
Okay.
Look at the human.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Did we learn that anyone else might be susceptible to athletics, or can I
Oh, you
not
can
do the same thing twice?
Just if you use the same argument on the same person by the same person, the DC does become slightly higher.
Did we get a sense that anyone else would be interested in
No, you guys haven't
athletics?
gotten really much of a sense on anyone else.
My options are limited, though. I've got like the only things I'm probably good at are athletics, intimidation, which I'm a little worried about, and maybe Arcana.
Do
I don't-
athletics on Vlick.
You know what? I'm going to try and take one for the team and just try and gather some more information to make someone else's attempts better. So, who would be a good target? Does anyone have suggestions for a target for some sort of perception check?
We
Probably
haven't,
Vilk.
we haven't done a perception check on, I believe, Kirandra or Johan.
Yeah.
I'll go with Johan. So I will just try and do a perception check.
roll it.
29.
Unfortunately, that's just a failure.
I am going to use a hero point because I want to be helpful.
Me.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Come
you can't really
on!
get a read on them. Nim.
Ugh. I've got.
To be clear, are we allowed to use the same
Yes,
skill
but if you
twice?
use the same
2
skill on
turns
the
in a
same
row?
person, the DC does increase, as it's the similar argument.
Understood. Okay. Okay, that changes things for me.
Savvy. Sorry.
I guess I kind of want to talk to both Kirandra and Sildon, but I talked to Sildon last time, so I guess I'll go for Kirandra. I just want to say, in terms of resources, we do have access to something that you might find helpful, especially considering the recent loss of your archives. We have access to a very large library. It's one of our few valuable resources that we have access to.
And you're saying this towards Kirandra.
Can I do both?
That's the thing about these influence challenges, is that you get to make one argument to one NPC.
Then fuck it. I will stick with Minith, even if it knocks the DC up higher, because this is something that she's going to want, and I'm hoping I get some bonus points for that.
What skill do you want to use with that?
I think it has to be
Okay,
diplomacy,
so the DC is
doesn't
slightly
it?
higher, but because you did mention the access to that archive of Nethys, you do get a +2.
Okay. Diplomacy, don't fail me now. I'm gonna hero point that, cause that was a 2.
Queen shit.
Come on, baby, come on. There we
Is
go.
a
Okay,
success.
33, so 35 total.
She appears to now have a neutral outlook at the party. Yes, that could help some.
Nice.
At least in rebuilding what we've lost. Lynx,
Huzzah!
Of course.
it is your turn. What would you like to do? Cooper?
Sorry, what?
It's your turn.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. The headphones cut out, I guess. I'd like to make a perception
Okay,
on
roll it.
Johan.
Good.
No, I would not.
Unfortunately, you do not gather any information. Cassandra.
You know what? I'm going to. Let me just double check. All right, yeah. I'm gonna try some diplomacy on
All right.
Johan.
What's your argument going to be?
I say, at the end of the day, I feel that our goals here are the same. We both want Peladar to back off and mind their own business in their own country.
Nice. Roll me a diplomacy check.
Ideally.
30 is a success.
Woo!
Nice.
They appear to agree with that statement. Yes, that is exactly what I want. Some return to normalcy. Ray.
Oh no.
I want to talk to.
Oh boy.
Supplies guy.
What do you want to do for your skill, and what is your argument?
I'm gonna perceive
Make a
him.
perception check. 27. Unfortunately,
27.
the 27 does not get you any more information on him. Okay,
That's
Garl.
fine.
Oh, Ray, remember now you can only do either the perception or the skill check. Yeah.
Yes.
They're gonna be
They
quick
are.
turns. I'm gonna try and like, how many more rounds do we get
You
to do
figure
this?
you have one more round of the general arguments, and then they're going to start asking you questions.
Okay, so I'm going, because I'm at the top, other people get a chance. I'm going to try again on the same target for perception. Because I don't think we've learned anything new.
All right, who are you going after?
That's fair.
Okay. roll.
Johan.
Unfortunately, that is not enough.
You know what? I have an abundance of hero points because I haven't used them all. So I'm going to hero point this one again.
I'm saving
Unfortunately,
one
that's not enough.
just in case.
I am going to gouge out my own eyes.
And that's fair.
That's valid.
All right. You said we have
Yeah, this
one
is
more
your last round
round.
of general arguments, and they're going to start asking each of you specific
Yikes.
questions.
I'm a little
That's fair.
scared, besties, not gonna lie.
Then I think I'll use diplomacy on.
I mean, what's the worst that happened? We kill all of them?
All of us be
The
executed.
general outlook in this room is still a slightly negative one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to Kiandra and double down on talking about the archives and say it's an archive that we believe to be tended to by Nethys themselves. I imagine it would be extremely helpful in your tutoring.
Roll me
Endeavors.
diplomacy, I assume.
Yeah.
That is a success.
Come on, Nimbus, you can do it. Pave the way, put
Nice,
your back
that's
into
successful.
it.
Links.
I'll take it.
Look at you, you're showing us why. Telling us how.
Look at where it came from. Look at me
Look at us now.
What is happening?
So much.
Links, you're up.
Alrighty. Can I do a general crafting to try to make like a batch of that
Target
drink
one
for
person-
everybody? Is
one
that
person
allowed?
around.
Okay, that's totally fine. God damn it. I really feel a little stuck, not gonna lie.
Perception's always an option.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with perception. Everything else is not exactly something I'd like to do to try to get on someone's good side.
Fortunately, a 20.
Motherfuck. That's on Johan
Unfortunately,
again.
a 22 is not enough to get a read on them.
Totally fine.
Everybody
Johan just sees half the party like staring,
Staring
at
at
them.
him,
uncomfortable.
just fully
Cassandra,
like,
We're undermining his confidence.
Who's not
He's
been
gonna think he has something
Um,
in his teeth.
Everyone's been
no.
talked to. However, yeah, the mood in the room is now a neutral mood.
Okay. I guess I am going to. Well, let's go for Strahd. It's gonna be a
Okay, roll it.
diplomacy.
And tell me your argument.
I just say I apologize. We can forge a nice little alliance here, and I promise when push comes to shove, we will not get in the way. This is your government, and we respect your
I like
authority
the
within your own
pun.
government.
He's not a punman, but roll me diplomacy.
son of a
34
bitch.
is a success.
Yes, but Will, you're the DM. You can hand out hero points
34
for
is a
puns.
success.
That's true.
Nice. Alright, so, Ray, you're the last one for the general arguments.
Let's
What
go.
would you like to do? Who would you like to talk to or look at? And what do you want to do?
I'm looking at
Okay, are you making
Johan.
perception or trying to make an argument? Okay,
You
what,
make
do
an
you want, what
argument.
skill do you want to use?
Maybe this is the last
You
thing.
can do it. Pave the way.
Get you back into it.
Potion 30.
Holy
Unfortunately, a
shit.
30 is not a success.
Ah. Okay, well,
But
I
it is not a
tried.
critical failure, so it doesn't negative you. It just
It's just no effect.
Ray just laughs and goes, I tried, man.
As like
I did
they're
my
clearly
best.
not intimidated by you, Ray. So at the top of the round,
Ray's like, I got one move,
um,
and that's it.
I got 3 looks.
at the top of the round, Vilk will kind of speak up, and they'll kind of look over to you, Garl. All right. Seemed like a tough sword, eye. Catch. Kind of throws you one of those like robot heads.
Ooh.
I've played this game before.
I've played this game
Let's see what you
before.
can do with that, eh?
Usually there's
Give me
more.
an athletics check.
Right.
That
That is pitiful. I'm going to use another here, but I'm just standing them out like candy.
Roll it.
Doing amazing.
Oh my god!
Oh.
They've
Girl,
already used
point.
it.
I would blame
Oh,
No.
can't
I
do
would-
it again.
the fact that I'm carrying someone on my shoulders, but it's not her fault. It's not.
Bye.
Yeah, you can't get a
I
tight. You
just-
can't get a tight enough grip, and quite frankly, the attempt at crushing this thing was a little bit pitiful.
Oh, this is
In
the only
the
things I'm good at.
So
I'm a blood
the
instrument and I
angels
can't even do this.
fly
The feeling in the room is now neutral once
away
again.
from
1,000 yards.
Kiriandra will kind of speak up towards you, Nim. And there's been many reports that Treladar's movements have become increasingly totalitarian throughout the world. How do you plan to stand against it? Why should we help you stand against it?
I think our plan of action is going to need to be different for every region, given that their strategy for every individual country is so different. But the idea is to push back Treladar's forces and to liberate the people there. Obviously, once Magdia is liberated from Treladar, you're going to be at odds with them. I think it's going to be very difficult for you to trade with any of the other countries that they are currently occupying. So, for that reason, at least logistically, it might be worth investing in the liberation of those other countries. Morally, of course, you've seen what they've done to your people. It's an atrocity.
Make me a diploma.
I can't look at what's going on here and wish it on anyone else, and I don't imagine you would either.
Make me a diplomacy check.
Come on, Nimbus, you can do it. Pave the way, put your back into it.
Thank you.
Lynx pipes up and just says, "Here, here."
Lynx. Johan's going to actually speak up now. Alright, Lot. You seem like a crafty type, eh?
Yes.
Yes. His ears flick a little bit.
We've got, and they'll go down like a list of basically every single raw material resource they have in their arsenal. How would you divvy them up to different projects? What would you put stock into? Would you be building weapons? Would you be building defenses? What would you be building if you had access to these materials?
There's a bit of a cog shift in his eyes. Lynx will take a second to think and responds confidently with that it is a case-by-case basis for every nation. It depends on what is more pressing. I believe that defense will always be valued slightly more than an offense, especially in a situation like this. But I would absolutely think that you would try to have at least a good mix of both. But I believe best case scenario, you should lean into defense a tad
Make
more.
me a crafting check. Do you have a hero point?
Got one.
Do you want
Got
to use
one.
it as a failure?
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club, my friend.
Remember that time I started the night off with a nat 20?
That was.
That was great.
He appreciates the thought that went into it, but it doesn't seem like your answer jived with what he was looking for. Cassandra.
Guys just aren't vibing.
Sildal will speak up to you. You mentioned in the library earlier, all of you. Mine goes with information sharing. In any battle, the sharing of information can be the difference between a victory and a defeat. And in the case of Trelladar, who's currently occupying every other nation in the world, that would be a difficult thing to do. How would you suggest we safely share information?
Well, it's all about finding people you know and trust in each nation. I personally have contact with the Emperor of the Opal Empire, and I trust him to get to receive information, keep
They're
information
dating.
safely. I guess you probably haven't necessarily 100% put a label on it yet.
He hasn't necessarily said we're dating,
That's
but we're
beside
dating.
the point.
Months,
He gave her a
Cassandra.
ring. It's official.
We have connections here. We have connections in the Opal Empire. We have connections we trust back in Lutania. It's all about just making sure you have people you trust to receive the information and get
Make
it
a
spread out
diplomacy
properly.
check.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Nat 20!
We love.
It's
Is
the
that name dropping?
that did it.
It is that name dropping.
Is the name
She
dropping?
appears to have a very positive attitude to that. She very much liked that answer.
You gain the celebrity archetype for free.
Come on,
Alphonse
Cassie, you
speaks
can
up
do
next.
it, baby.
Looking directly at you, Ray.
Dude, Ray rolls her eyes. She's so
Everybody
ugly.
just holds their breath.
citizens and
Truly.
our scouts throughout the city have reported that you all have assaulted a number of our people.
Well, your people shouldn't be
And a
stupid.
minus. Convince us that you do not see us simply as tools, but as allies.
No, that's dumb.
You could-
I didn't.
Oh,
This isn't.
oh, punch Garl in the face to prove that it's not just them that use this tool.
Exactly.
You know what? That's a good idea.
Yeah, Ray just rolls her eyes. She's just like, I just have a problem with everybody. Plus, I just came for a job interview, so I don't need to prove anything to you, who I've never met before. Either you want help or you
Would
don't.
you like that to be intimidation or diplomacy,
That's-
Diplomacy.
Ray? At a -2.
Ray's over it. Ray's so pissed off that her friends need to grovel. Yeah, no, she's adding this. My friends don't need to grovel for your approval because they actually have the decency to want to
Roll me
help.
diplomacy.
You know, I actually appreciate the spirit of the argument.
That's a 7! I
That's a
rolled a
critical
7!
failure.
You know what? I'll use my hero point.
Okay.
I haven't used any.
Yeah, for the
What do I
+3.
think?
That's still a
That's
critical
12.
failure.
It's not meant to be.
Critical failure.
Not meant to be. But Ray's proud of what she said.
It's not
She's,
meant
He
to
will
be.
look directly at
she's
you,
pissed
Ray.
at these guys.
The only thing that you and your friends have proven is that all people are a means to an end to you. You're willing to assault people in the streets.
How?
You're willing to beat civilians when they ask you for help.
Aren't we assaulting the enemy that you claim we're against? How is it any different? It's
How
not.
You have
Civilians
attacked all
different
people in
from
the streets.
occupying
You guys
You all-
need to get your
You all
sticks out
greeted
of
me when you came to
asshole.
the city with assault.
Well, yeah, that was on you, bud. You wouldn't talk to us.
He
No,
stands
I don't
up
actually
at that
remember
moment
what
and says,
happened.
See, look,
It
they
does.
are
Everybody's rude.
blaming us for what has fallen on us when we all know the ones who are trying to
Whoa,
save
whoa.
us are the
Ray
ones who have
interrupts.
put us in this
I'm
position to
blaming
begin
you.
with. They are the ones who weakened us.
Ray, so
They are the ones who put our country in such a state. Now they've come to try
hold
to
on.
save
Ray
it.
starts counting. One,
They've come to use us as a shield against Trelador for themselves, so that our corpses may line the streets instead of theirs.
Yeah, so you're honestly, sir, suggesting that a group of 6 children are the downfall
children,
of
you are all
your
adults.
society? Because that's just sad if that is honestly the downfall of you, is 6 random people. You need to take a hard look in the
And
mirror
now
at
I feel
yourself
no
if that's
guilt for the deal I made. And the
Will, I have
Oh,
a
oh,
DM
oh.
question.
Ray, respectfully.
go ahead, Cooper.
When
Oh.
we first got here, also holy shit. When we first got here, I recall you saying that this Acer was one of the ones we met while they
Yes.
were mind controlled. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's rude to Ray.
Then I'm going to
Oh.
follow up on that.
All right, but
Lynx is gonna pipe up, interrupt, doesn't
Okay.
care if it's rude. Weren't you mind controlled when we first met you? Didn't you come back to this country after being altered mentally?
Boom!
How do we know that it's not you that's here to sabotage us?
Yeah. So as you're finishing that, they're continuing their conversation with Ray. Basically, they'll say, as they were saying, I feel no guilt for the deal that I have made, for it will be one that will protect all people. And the doors
Cool, so you're
To the
not even
foundry
going
open,
to acknowledge it.
and
Understood.
marching in are a
Yeah,
number
they
of
were-
constructs, and that is where we will pick up next week. You
I
guys
blame
came-
Nim.
My
You
man made
guys
a
came
deal.
so close to success, and then like Ray with the critical failure just put it 1 negative.
Listen,
Yeah.
I
just
tried.
tried.
I gave you guys my only cure.
Your party tried. You guys were doing really well for a bit.
But
the
also-
failures and
And
the
I
critical
failed.
failures just
I'm
stacked
mad.
up against you all.
I rolled
I think
terrible
the
for
biggest
athletics.
shame is that if Ray had selected intimidation as opposed to diplomacy, I
Yes,
think
he
it would have
probably
gone
would've.
differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
play to your
let's find
strengths.
out.
Let's find
Hold
out
on.
for funsies.
I'm gonna do flip.
No, that still would have been a failure,
Yep.
but it would have been a
Yeah.
critical failure. It would have just been a neutral ending.
It wouldn't have
but
been a
next
7.
week, we will get things started as our party faces off with the, well, basically with the consequences of some of their actions here in Magdia. So,
Don't worry.
Glad you're saying some of their actions.
The Aesir won't
thank
leave
you
the room
everyone for
alive.
coming to tonight's episode of the League of Amazing Adventures. Don't forget to check out our many other streams here on the channel. Of course, we have the Calling Chronicle on Friday night. That's our D&D 5e game. If you want to see our party rage against capitalism led by alien
Rage gonna hit
frogs,
him.
that's the one to come and do it.
Ooh, that's the worst.
Then we have on Monday,
Rage
Will
gonna
and
hit
Matt play TCGs.
wanna
We're playing
hit
some
him.
Commander this week. Then on Tuesday, we'll have me playing some Final Fantasy. Then next week on Wednesday, we'll probably get to see the start or the conclusion of this arc in the League of Amazing Adventurers. So make sure to come check that out. If you haven't already followed and you want to see more, give us a follow. It helps us out a lot. We are 9 followers away from our follower goal. That I have my arbitrary goal of hitting 200 that I set for myself. When we hit that, I'm going to do a long
nice round
stream
number.
that we got plans for. More on that when we get closer to the goal.
Yes.
But with that, friends, we are going to go and raid someone. Let's see. You know what? Let's go say hi to MCDM. That's Matt Coville's Productions. They're a wonderful DM that you can learn a lot from as a person. And yeah, thank you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Maybe we'll live.
Bye. Maybe we'll live.
Bye.
Who knows?
Mm.
I can only promise that traitors will be